Hi everybody. So I know some of you are probably sick and tired of Christmas cards, but some of you are procrastinators and still don't have your Christmas cards done. So I am getting out my October monthly Hero Arts kit. If you got this kit, I don't know if it's still available or not. You'll have to check Hero Arts, but I have not used this yet. And normally when I get this kit, I will make like 1 or 2 cards, and then I really don't film too often just because these cards, from what I found in my experience, is they kind of take a while to color and put together. And as you can see here, I've stamped the little car out to mask it on masking paper. This is Inkadinkado masking paper, and I'm cutting it out very, very close to the line, like almost to the line, and it's okay if you go a little over the line, actually. You really don't want any white space when you're doing masking. You want it right up to the line, if not close to the inside of the line. Because I have an idea. I think I can make a pretty quick card here, but we'll see. My thought is to mask the car off and then stamp some trees behind it and color them in and see what we get. So just about done here with this. And you could use the matching die that comes with the set. Just keep in mind that the die is going to put a little bit of a white border around your design. So again, when you're masking, you want to try to have it right up to the line as much as you can. All right. So here is the stamp set. If you have not seen it, like I said, I don't know if it's available or not. You'll have to check Hero Arts website. But it comes with some cool, like, I would say like 50s themed car designs, the couches, very retro, the trees, and then of course there are some matching dies. All right, and I have my card bases cut already. This is Nina Solar White cut down to 5 3 3/4 as my main card panel, and normally I stamp the car first and then do my masking, but I think I'll just do the masking first and then we'll stamp the car in afterwards. It really doesn't matter. Oops. Come on now. Okay, so then the set comes with these 2 kind of trees, so I'm going to grab those and we'll stamp those. And I'm using the Brutus Monroe Detail Raven ink. These are really stuck down to the sheet. Very well adhered. Okay. And stamping it behind the car gives the illusion that, you know, the stamps are, or the trees are larger or smaller or whatever. Okay, and then I think we'll do some presents, but the presents we will cut out separately. So while I have the mask on there, I do want to do a little bit of ink blending. And I'll make it pretty simple. Grab one of these blending brushes. And maybe we'll give it a little bit of a cloudy sky. Okay, and then for the ground, I'm just going to do blue on the ground, you know, to be kind of like snow, I guess. You can always change that later on, but for right now, we'll just give it a little bit of blue there to give it some ground. Okay, so, all right, at this point, I'll take my mask off. And I like to save my masks by putting them with the stamp set. This is pretty well adhered. Oops. Okay. All right. And we want to re-ink our car. Kind of line it up with our masked shadow there. All right, that looks pretty good. So now the fun part is just coloring it in. This is a pretty simple image, I think, to color it in. So I am going to use my Arteza watercolor, or sorry, regular colored pencils. I gotta tell you what, guys, for the value, I keep reaching for these pencils. This is a 120 pencil set. You get so many colors. I have to find a case to put these in, but they just blend so smoothly and so easily. You guys know I love the watercolor pencils, so. And I do have a link with Arteza, so I will link that for you guys too. But I will just kind of spread these out on the desk. All right, let's start with this kind of bushy tree here. I will try to remember to tell you guys the names of the colors here. So this one's called Spearmint Green. And what I like to do is just lay down some color at first. I like coloring with color pencils better than markers or alcohol markers, because I think it's easier when you're learning to color to be able to blend with color pencils. If you make a mistake, you can easily erase the mistake. But if you use some Gamsol, it blends out beautifully. Well, these pencils do. Also, you know, if you have other color pencils, try those as well. But like I said before with Arteza, for the price point for what you're getting, I don't color every day. I am not an artist. I do this as a hobby, and these are great for the price point. I mean, I'm not like selling my artwork or anything, so. And then you just take a little bit of Gamsol. This one I got from Inky Antics, but you can get it from any kind of art supply store. And you just take a little paper stub and you go in over that, and all of your brush marks kind of literally melt away. It just smooths the wax out. So for when I'm coloring, I prefer this method just because, again, I'm not that good with markers yet. I keep practicing with markers. But when I color with color pencils, I feel like my stamped artwork looks better. And then if you wanted to go in with a darker green, basil green, just go right in and blend right over that color. And again, it just smooths right in to what you already colored. And all of your pencil lines are gone. It literally melts those away until all you're left with is this smooth application of color. Yeah, I like it. All right. For this tree, I'm going to be pretty simple with the Christmas bulbs. Let's do this traditional red. Okay, this one's called Carmine Red. Oops, that one goes on the other tree. That's okay. So I want to know from you guys, what do you prefer coloring with? Do you prefer watercolors? Do you prefer alcohol markers? And I don't need a brand specific. Like, I know there's Spectrum Noir, there's Arteza Everblend markers, there's Copic markers. There's a lot of companies out there. I just need to know, what medium do you guys like? Do you like color pencils? Do you like watercolor pencils? Do you like watercolors? Do you like paints? Do you like alcohol markers? Do you like watercolor markers? So I would just like to take a poll. If you guys can comment down below and let me know, you know, what do you like to color with? So for this tree that's a little more bare, I think I will do a little bit brighter colors on him. We will do some red, maybe some like golden yellow. You have here my favorite color, sunflower yellow. And a nice blue. This is called sapphire blue. And I know a lot of people like to color because they say it's soothing. I don't know, there's just something nostalgic about coloring for me, and it just brings me back to my childhood. Okay. And these little ornaments are so tiny, you don't even have to go in with the Gamsol to blend them out. You can if you want to. Totally optional. I just think the Gamsol gives it a little bit more of a professional look. Like I said, by taking away those brush strokes and blending everything together. Really makes it stand out and look pretty. Okay. And then I think for this other tree, we will do a more traditional red and green look. So that same red, rose red. And see, just by moving this stamp down a little bit, even though it's the same stamp as this stamp, it looks a little shorter. And I did 3 trees because an odd number is a little more pleasing to the eyes, according to card makers, online, artists. So that's why I did an odd number of trees. Okay. I think we are done with our little trees here. Little ornaments. It was really easy to do. And for those of you that don't want to stick around and watch the coloring, if you tap on the right side of the screen 2 times, it will fast forward the video 10 seconds. And for those of you that want to slow things down, go back, grab a cup of coffee, miss something, press the left side of the screen 2 times and it will rewind the video 10 seconds for you. All right, so now let's work on our little car. I was gonna do like this hot pink, like all I kept thinking was like a hot pink Cadillac, but I think that's gonna look kind of funny. So I think I'm gonna go more traditional and maybe do like a gray color, black color sedan. All right, so we have a huge selection of gray color pencils here, just to show you guys that's some of them. And then there's a lot more gray here. So there's a large selection of colors with Arteza, which I've always said. So you have a lot of neutral grays, a lot of warm grays. And the other thing I like about these pencils is that there's a lot of color pencil companies out there that people complain about the quality of the pencil, like the pencils break, the leads are too soft, or they're not pigmented enough, so you really have to press down hard to get a nice color. I don't ever have that issue with these pencils. I've never been let down with these pencils. I have a couple sets of them, and in fact, with this new job, will be traveling a lot. So I have decided that I think I will pack a set like in my suitcase where it will always be there, maybe take like a coloring book or pre-stamp out some images so that when I'm on the road, I can color these images in, because I know that, first of all, if anything happens to these pencils, they're inexpensive. They're not my like favorite gold mine pencils that I need to worry about anything happening to them. You know, secondly, you know, if I need to replace them, they're very inexpensive, but they're good quality. So I'm not going to be like, oh, this pencil is always breaking and getting frustrated. And, you know, do I need to take a pencil sharpener with me? Do I need to pack them a certain way? So I actually have like 2 sets of the color pencils, because we have this set and then we have, I think, a 72 color set. And then we have 2 sets of the watercolor pencils. And I share with the kids, no problem too. Same thing, because again, we're spending that quality time together, and there are, face it, there are some craft products where it's hands off, don't even think about touching it. And this is not one of them. This is one of the ones that I can share with Leah and not have to worry about her being too young or too careless. You know, if I have friends come over that want to do crafting with me, I can get these out. Because of the price point and the good quality, I don't really need to feel like that I have to worry about anyone abusing my stuff, and we all have those kinds of, I will say, special things that we just don't want other people touching, or we don't really want to share, or, you know, it's like special paper that we want to hoard. I'm sure we all have special craft supplies that we're kind of stingy with as well. So you don't ever have to be that way with these Arteza pencils. So what I'm doing now is just laying down base color. just to add, like, I'm not really doing any detail work. So the first color gray I used was this lighter gray, which is called Cloudy Gray. And then I went in and added some shadows with Ash Black. Now I'm actually going in with black, which is Noir. And all of those detail areas like the trim, which would probably normally be chrome, I'm going to color in black. I guess I could color it silver. I do have a silver pencil, but that's okay. And do a light yellow, lemon yellow on this little headlight here. And a little bit of red on the back brake light there. Maybe a really light ice blue. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice, another light gray. This is called Fog Gray. Do that on our windows. And at this point, I am just laying down color. I am not being super fancy or super neat about anything I'm doing at this point. Just laying the color down, because I know when I go in with the Gamsol, it's going to spread those colors out for me. This is that darker gray, Ash Black. Just kind of do all the trim with this. And with the wheels, I'm going to assume these are old-fashioned white wall wheels, so we'll do the outside part black. We'll leave the next part white. And we'll go in with that lighter gray again, this fog gray, and do the hubcaps or wheels. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the Gamsol and do some of the larger areas and the smaller areas in the blending pencil. Really just going to do the larger body panels in the car to kind of, again, blend and smooth that out. You'll know when you're out of Gamsol because it'll stop smoothing and it'll just be like you're rubbing on the paper. So when you see that, because the Gamsol dries, it evaporates pretty quickly. You just dip a little bit more in your little spongy bottle there. And I'm leaving the smaller areas, the darker areas for right now. I'm just going to do the larger body panels here, just to blend all that gray in. And again, if you haven't commented, comment down below, what is your preferred coloring medium? Do you prefer color pencils? Do you prefer watercolors? You know, watercolor markers, alcohol markers? I would like to know. Now I'm just going in with this finer tip stump, paper stump, and I'm just going into those little detail areas now, and again, just smoothing out that color. You really can't make a mistake with color pencils because it's pencil. You can always go in and erase it. But I find if I just go in and blend over it, it camouflages my mistake. Now that's kind of boring looking because it's just a little gray car, but that's okay. All right, so now the last part of this, and this is pretty simple, right? What are we, 25 minutes into it? It's not bad considering I'm talking the whole time. All right, so the last part of this is there are some little gifts, some little presents. And I just want to stamp some of those out on regular paper and then color those in. And I think those I will die cut out. What I've done with my stamp set, if you've never seen, is I trace around the dies. So I know which ones have dies. So like this gift, this gift, this gift, they all have dies. Anything that's not traced around doesn't have a die, a matching die. And here are the dies here. I just put a little piece of that magnetic tape back there. You can find that on Amazon. I'll try to remember to link that for you guys. And I just keep everything stuck together so my dies are with matching stamp set. All right, so let me just grab those 3 little presents out. And I'm going to stamp them out. Actually, I have some scratch paper right here. I can stamp them out on. Line them all up. And I'm moving them far enough apart that I can put the dies around them and run them through my Gemini machine to cut them out. Big Shot, Big Kick, whatever you got, Cuttlebug. I gotta tell you, I've really been testing out this Brutus Monroe Detailed Raven ink. It does really well. It really does. I really do like it. I do endorse it for, you know, watercoloring, for Copic coloring, alcohol marker coloring, and now I'm doing it with color pencils. I really have been putting it through the test on my cards lately, and I have not been disappointed with it. As long as you give it a second to dry when you're doing like alcohol marker coloring, that's the only time I would say just give it a second to dry, or to take a heat tool to it because it could smudge a little bit. But for the most part, it's been great. All right, I'm going to go in with those same traditional colors we've been using just to kind of keep all of the theme uniform here. So this is that rose red, and I'm just doing real simple coloring here, nothing fancy schmancy. Again, you can go in and add more shading, more depth into your coloring if you want to. And because I have these colors matching the ornaments on the tree, they don't stick out. Like, I don't want to throw a purple in here right now, and then it's going to really stick out that there isn't any purple on anything. And now I have this kind of purple image. It's just going to stick out. So I kind of make my colors match with whatever I've used on the rest of the card. Or try to. And again, just laying down that basic color. What's the name of the blue that I used? Here it is, sapphire blue. This would make a really cute set for masculine cards too, especially if you have a car guy in your life. Car cards or stamps are kind of difficult, I think, to find. You could easily make this a happy birthday card just by doing the car and the presents. You don't have to make this a Christmas set. So keep that in mind when you get these kinds of stamps. You know, use your imagination. They don't have to be just Christmas stamps. And I know as card makers, a lot of times we struggle to find masculine card ideas, masculine stamps. This is one of those that I would keep in mind for doing guy cards. All right, do I not have a yellow? We'll just use this. Oopsie, a little green in there. Oh well. Gives it character. Okay. Okay, now we're just gonna cut the matching dies and get those on the cutting machine. So clearly I have not used this yet. Okay, so we have a gift down here. When cutting my dies, I try to cut as close as possible to the actual die. And then any spurs, like this spur here, I'm going to cut that over the trash can so that that falls into the trash can and doesn't poke my eye out. Okay. Okay, and then all we have to do is glue these to the card, put it on a card base, and we'll be done. So pretty simple. I know this is a little longer than I normally do, but you guys have told me that you like to watch my coloring, so I left it all in for you. Okay, let me run this through the Gemini Junior. I ran out of card bases. Whoops. Guess I won't be showing that part. I thought I had card bases made up, but nope, I used them all. So then at this point, I'm going to put these presents like all hanging out the trunk here. And maybe I'll do like that and then put this one down here. I do like that, and then I'll stamp a sentiment in the top right corner. Let's see what sentiments we have. See you soon. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Enjoy. Thank you. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. Sending warm wishes. Rocking around the Christmas tree. So there's a lot here. I think I'll just do this quick Merry Christmas. Why not? We're already here. Now for this, because I want this sentiment to be nice and black the first time I stamp it, I'm not going to be coloring it. I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink for this. I want it to be nice and juicy. And then I'll mount this on a card base and it will be done. All right, so there you go, guys. Pretty simple card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I appreciate your thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, there's a little bubble that's going to come up in the bottom right-hand corner. If you click that, you will get notified every time I post a video. I often do giveaways and things like that. If you have any questions about anything, I will try to link everything that I used in the description down below for you. And again, I'm looking for your comments on what is your favorite coloring medium. Comment down below for me. Color pencils, watercolors, markers, things like that. Whatever you like to color with. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.